This is a reflection on a movie I just saw called Coming to America. It's very, very interesting, beautifully put together, and I really must tell you, I truly enjoyed it. The premise of the story is that this young man, Eddie Murphy, he's the son of the king, and the king has a special marriage in the future for Eddie Murphy. But Eddie Murphy wants to find out what the real world is all about. He goes with a gentleman that accompanies him, not his bodyguard, his right-hand man. And where do they go? They go to New York City. There is no one at that point that he has seen that he's very interested in socially and what have you. In one scene, you see one of them rolling down the stairs, and you see them visiting various fundraisers. By the way, in those days, what was a haircut that he got very quickly? $8. Boy, that was a special time. There is a mention of Martin Luther King, whom the star met in the past, but you don't see him or have him referred to in the movie. The father is the king of an African country, Zamunda. The king is planning, as I mentioned before, his son engagement party. None of this has been brought to the attention of the young man. In his trip to America, this fellow with his partner, his bodyguard, what have you, has considered some $500,000 cash to play with. But the understanding between him and his guardian is that he is not part of royalty in no way, shape, or form. That makes it all the more interesting. The prince is commenting on what he sees in everyday life, and he's ready to, by the way, almost figure that he may want to renounce his throne because he wants to see how the real world is working. If there is someone that's going to be married to him, he doesn't know who this person is at this point. He's gotten a job, and this is the key turning point of the story, in a fast food restaurant in New York City, working behind the scenes. The average general job that has a person like that has. What is remarkable and significant behind the scene is the story. He is being honored by the owner of the company because of how proficient he is in handling the food and the distribution and what have you. Meanwhile, just remember, behind the scenes, you're always haunted with the fact that his father, the king, is preparing for a major, major marriage. Refreshing study, and it's one of the most educational movies I've ever seen. You, as a young man or woman, watching this film, begin to learn how you can enter a world that you're not familiar with, or a job you've never handled before, and somehow, if you're determined, if you have the skills and the know-how, you can become second-hand at the job. You can take it over, you can add to it, and so forth. The owner of the store that he's working at is so impressed with him that he relates this fact to him. And knowing that the fellow probably came from another culture. At any rate, as it goes on, the movie ends dramatically when the young man comes back to his country. He has met a woman in the States that he's gotten a crush over, and evidently notified his father about it. His father appears in the States, dramatically concerned about the whole scene, and then leaves. And don't you know, we have now this wedding around the corner before the hierarchy of the country, run by his father. The dramatic ending, and I got to tell you folks, even if you know about this, it is a dramatic ending, comes when the bride comes up from the bottom of the steps in this gigantic theatrical setting, platform. She's in a beautiful, elegant wedding dress covered with all types of embellishments. And as the veil is removed, it turns out that this young bride is the bride he met in America and had fallen in love with. Beautifully dramatic climax to end with his true love. That is a beautiful, beautiful, folks, love story. Maybe you need to look at the movie right now.